quarterfinals of the 133-pound weight class. We're going to focus in on Franklin Gomez, the top seed, against Mack-Reiter of Minnesota. A couple of Big Ten opponents. And then from the Big 12, Nick Fanthorpe of Iowa State, Joey Slaton of Iowa will also look in on that match as well. So that'll be the two matches that we focus in on here. We're going to be talking about Gomez and Reiter, guys. A couple of guys that are no strangers to one another from the Big Ten.
Well, I love Franklin Gomez. He's as tactical as they come. Up from Puerto Rico, grew up there, then wrestled in Brandon, Florida, a great program at Brandon High School. And came to Michigan State, and he's their super soft. He's really their only wrestler that has had any success this year. Mack-Reiter, what a great wrestler, what a great career at Minnesota. But one thing has eluded him, and that's the national championship. He's a man on the mission. He has dealt with a lot of injuries, but could this be his day?
That's the match on the left. Of course, Gomez in the green singlet and the green ankle band against Reiter from Minnesota.
Reiter's one of those rare four-time Iowa State champions that gets out of the state. And Jay Robinson, the head coach from Minnesota, recruited him. He was freshman of the year in the Big Ten. He was an All-American. All-American as a sophomore. And then last year, disappointing season. Dealt with injuries. Didn't gain that status. And he'd like to climb back up on the stand this year.
Reiter plays fourth both in 05 and 06. But Gomez comes in with some impressive credentials. His wrestling style, explosive, likes to lift opponents into the air. And that comes from his success at the international styles. He's won both the freestyle and Greco-Roman junior nationals. And as you know, Tim, that's a grinder out there in Fargo.
Great story on Gomez, you know, growing up in Puerto Rico and Florida. He comes up to Michigan State in winter. They just had a break in the weather. They had 70-degree weather and sunny. Tom Minkel, the head coach, said it's the way it is all the time there, Franklin. And Franklin said, man, I like it. Canceled his trip to Arizona State the next week and signed. I don't think there's been a 70-degree day there since. And so they bought him long underwear when he came to the campus the next year.
And Gomez had a hell of a scare last round. It went through 3 overtimes against unseeded Reese Humphrey of Ohio State. And Humphrey twice had opportunities to win the match. And somehow Gomez was able to hang on and persevere. And he won it on riding time.
Early on in a match, even though these guys are familiar with one another, early on, are they a little bit nervous about making a mistake that might cost them, or are they being very aggressive right from the get-go?
You want to wrestle the style that got you here to the Nationals and not suddenly clam up and become conservative. So the idea is wrestle your match. Go out there and do the things that you're successful at.
If you're timid, you could lose. Yeah.
Use your strengths. Don't fear your weaknesses.
I like that. Nothing doing on either match so far in terms of scoring.
If Reiter can force his style, he's going to get into body locks. He can throw from anywhere, and he wants to go upper body with and grind with Gomez. Gomez, great tactician, as we mentioned. Very explosive if he can get an underhook and drive through the man.
Just wonder if that match last night took a little out of Gomez because it was so grueling.
Well, Gomez didn't make it to the big show last year. He was a very highly ranked 25-pounder, didn't get out of the Big Tens, and so I would say that had a lot to do with it. And I would say maybe he's freed up. He feels better. He's ready to go. Maybe yesterday helped him.
By the way, I'll have a lot of questions for you guys, but if anybody out there watching has a question for you, you can email that question. Log on, ask Tim Johnson or Jeff Platnick what you want to know about the NCAA championships. Log on to ESPNU.com. ESPNU.com and type in your question.
Oh, tilt possibility here.
That's what we mean. He's very, very successful on top. Franklin Gomez, he can load you up and tilt you.
When you say load him up, what do you mean by that?
Bring him in. He likes to bring his opponent into his lap, get a near wrist or a reinforced arm bar, and turn the opponent's back towards the mat and gain back points.
Remember, the offensive man can go to his back to bring the defensive man there, and it doesn't count against him. So that's where tilts have become so popular. 2-on-1s, cross wrists. These are the holds they use to score tilt points, back points.
Positive for Gomez right there. Reiter gets away for a point, but Gomez comes right back with a takedown to go ahead 2-1. This is where Reiter's had problems from the bottom all his career. And so that was why it was such a big escape for him to get away. But Gomez comes back in for the takedown. Now he's where he likes to be. And actually, when you see a head down like that, it's just tough sledding for someone like Mack Reiter. And it's not a good place to be.
Guys, let's peek in on the other mat if we can. Nick Fanthorpe of Iowa State against Joey Slaton of Iowa. And these two guys certainly no strangers to one another as well. And very important, that match, with regards to not only the individual, but also the team title.
It's a big match for the team. Both Iowa and Iowa State, you know, vying for the championship. These guys met earlier, and Slaton beat Fanthorpe in the dual meet 6-5. Right now, it's 1-0 in favor of Slaton because they went 0-0 in the first period, and then he escaped with from Fanthorpe to begin the second period. In on the leg right now. If he can pick it up, keep his head up, and pull Fanthorpe in, this would be a big 2 points at the end of the period. That's how champions score, at the end and at the edge. But it's not going to happen.
Time ran out.
Coming into this, guys, Iowa with 7 wrestlers still alive for an individual title. Iowa State was 6.
It's even. I mean, it really is. This is the round that separates them. They get 7 points each for a win because you get your 6th place points, plus you get advancement. So every win, for every win, you get a lot of points.
Don't forget, everybody who wins here today automatically All-Americans.
That's tonight at the semis, correct. Once they win in the semis, it's an automatic 6th place. We're in the quarters right now.
I know, and they get 6 points because when they win here, they're guaranteed 6th place in the quarters here. They're guaranteed All-Americans winning here to make it to the semifinals.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, so a win this morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Comes down to that first period, no takedown. Somebody's going to get a takedown and win it here. Who can it be?
Gomez, by the way, we peek in again over there, still leading by 1 with 1 minute remaining. And Gomez has also built up over a minute of riding time. So the pressure is on Reiter. He needs a takedown. With 1:24 in riding time, Gomez, in a sense, right now leads 5-3. That point would be added at the end of regulation.
Reiter still not in a bad position right here because the takedown, as you said, Dave, would tie it.
Right.
And they go into sudden victory, but Gomez stays in such good position. Stays in good position. He moves his feet well. It'll be awful hard to score on here, especially he can take a stall.
And Gomez has that point now locked up. 14 seconds left. It's automatic. It's a 2-point lead.
And of course they're going into sudden victory now between Fanthorpe and Slaton. It looks like Gomez will win and the top seed will advance.
Franklin Gomez continues his quest. First NCAAs. He's a sophomore, #1 ranked, and he continues his quest for a championship.
So congratulations to